Miss Brewington, could you step out for me, please? We're going to move back to that vehicle back there.
I am, would you...
As soon as you swing your legs out, I'll help you by assisting you grabbing your arm. Yeah, just uncross your legs right there. And swing your legs around.
What are we doing? I mean, you're...
She hasn't been searched for anything, but I can look at her mark. She doesn't have a mark.
Okay, very good. We're just going to step back to that vehicle right there.
And...
He's going to take you to my office, like we said.
He's going to take you to your office?
Yep, you're going to go with him to the sheriff's office.
Okay, and?
And then you can either submit to the field sobriety test like we talked about, or you cannot. It's up to you. But he's going to...
I got to read your form.
Like I said, it's 30 degrees out here, and with the wind chill, it's even colder.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to try to do field sobriety tests here on the roadside in these conditions.
No, you don't lose that in court. So what do you want to do?
We'll
I want you to walk back to this car.
After that.
Yeah,
we're not going to deal with that right now.
So what you're telling me is that I had a problem on the road here, and you decided...
Step out of my vehicle.
No,
come on.
No.
And
you
decided
not to help me.
Out of my car. Come
Okay.
on. Out of my car.
I understand.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Right this way, Miss Brewington. Right this way.
Keep walking back.
I can't walk.
Okay. Come on.
And
Just one foot at a time.
I actually have rheumatoid arthritis, so
No worries.
no.
Got to seat up there.
I have rheumatoid arthritis, and you are hurting me.
I'm just trying to help you get in the vehicle. I'm not hurting you. I'm helping you so you don't fall.
Why would I fall?
Because you just lost your footing, and you fell into the door.
No, because I have rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay. Can you get into the vehicle?
No, I can't because I have rheumatoid arthritis.
Put one foot up there, and then put the.
And I have a doctor's.
Put yourself in the seat. Go ahead. Get up in the seat, or we can help you get in the seat.
I actually am having a hard time.
You're handcuffed.
Yes.
Slide back into the seat.
I can't. It's too high for me.
All right.
I'm a
Well,
really
let me get in here, and I'll help lift you up, and he'll help.
Can you step up with your foot onto the running bar right there? There's
I'm
a
a little
step.
girl. I'm not very big. You understand?
There's a step right there, though. You can step right up onto that with one foot.
You guys are a little bit in trouble.
Yeah.
Grab her arm. Grab her arm and lift her up on this side. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Now put your foot up there. Put your foot up there.
Yeah, right there.
You're actually.
There you go.
You're actually hurting me.
Well,
So try not to.
Oh, really?
But you're not getting in the seat, so.
I can't get up.
Okay, well we're gonna lift you just slightly.
Okay, you
All right.
might want to push me.
There we go.
Thank you
All right.
so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
You're really
I'm going
great.
to go ahead and buckle it up.
You're really
There you go.
sweet.
You're welcome.
You're really good guys.
No problem.
Well,
Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What else can I do for you?
Nothing.
Okay. That's really awesome.
I'm gonna charge her regardless.
yes.
So as soon as I get in there, I'm just gonna call it out.
Yeah.
Oh, did you call out 1095 yet?
No, I just said she's detained.
Okay, I'm
Are
gonna
you
call
sure
it out.
she's 1056?
You think? I think even you'd do that. But I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna read it to her. I'm gonna offer her.
Yeah, give her the opportunity to do the field test. If
Yeah.
she refuses, charge her
Well,
anymore.
regardless. But I'd like to get.
And she's overwhelming.
I'd like to get her in the in that area.
Yeah. She
Well,
refused to
just
refuse
on
to.
camera and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to come back with me?
Yeah, I'll follow her.
All right.
Sir, what's your name?
Deputy Parker.
Deputy Parker. How
Yes.
are you?
Very good, thank you. A little bit chilly out there tonight.
It's a little bit chilly.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So I found myself in the ditch, and you guys didn't help me or taking me to the office.
Ferdinand County.
It's not particularly
I'm not at 1095
gentlemanly
or
of you, is it?
1019. 63 beginning mileage.
Yeah, I think it's really
84712. 84712.
You might find
mean,
yourself embarrassed here, shortly. you ever think of that?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Why not?
County, I'll be following them back to the office. Counselor.
Why haven't you thought of that?
90 County, what's records in now? We're on the phone with them now.
Have you never thought of that there might be a woman that goes in the ditch and you're arresting me?
No, ma'am.
Do you think that might embarrass you?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if I didn't
I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we?
if I didn't act on this, then I think I would be embarrassed.
Oh, I think you're gonna find yourself embarrassed. Because you don't know who I am and I'm not drunk.
I don't know who you are.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be very embarrassing,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's find out. I'm very willing. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't need to talk about anything right now.
Okay, so
Do you want me to turn the
just
music up for
kind
you?
of violated my rights and didn't help me on the side of the road. So that's kind of embarrassing. What are you gonna do about that?
I'm charging you with driving under the influence of alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am. You're under arrest right now for that.
Oh, how do you know that?
Well, by the way you're acting, by the fact that you put your car in a
Actually,
ditch,
I'm having a conversation.
and from the
with
scent I can get from you right now.
Really?
Yes. I can smell the overwhelming odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from you right now.
It's interesting. Considering I've had one glass of wine 6 hours ago.
Okay.
Considering that there is no margin on this road.
There's no what?
There's no margin on this road. There's no, like, if someone calls you, you're not allowed to speak to anyone,
No.
right?
That's right.
Right. So you'd have to pull over to follow the law. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So if I did that and I overestimated and I wound up in the ditch because I was trying to follow the law
Yes.
and you arrested me.
Well, I think you made a good decision to pull over to try to text rather than keep driving.
Right.
But ultimately, I guess you put your car in a ditch.
Yeah. And now you're taking me to the station.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a mistake.
Well,
on your part.
I'm prepared to make that mistake.
Okay, well, that's great. Hope you are. Hope you are. Hope you're afraid. I think it's funny. It's great. Showing your asses to be just what people think you are. Helping citizens. Aren't you supposed to be out there to, protect us?
Trying to, yes.
Yeah, you're not doing a really good job. Am I speaking like a person you think is under the influence of alcohol? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, very
All
much
right, okay, great. Then since you've already made the predetermination
Yes.
of my guilt,
Yes.
I will not be taking your false examination. How about that?
Okay, well, I still have to give you the opportunity to
Well,
it, okay?
you know what? Because we've determined here that you are going to lie. I hope that's on video.
It sure is.
Okay, great. You already determined my guilt. You already told me my guilt.
I don't determine guilt
No,
or innocence.
you already just told me that.
I just simply charge you, and then the judge does
No,
that.
you just told me I'm guilty.
No.
Yeah, so.
I just do charges. That's all I do.
You just told me I'm guilty.
Okay.
So you're a liar, and
Okay.
it's going to be thrown out in court.
That's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
And with any luck, your badge will be taken for being a liar. Because you aren't the court.
I'm not the court. Nope.
No,
No,
you're
ma'am.
not. You just told me I was guilty.
I never used the word guilty. You
Oh,
did.
yes, you did. I'm so drunk I don't even know, right?
I know.
Right?
I know.
Let's play the tape back. How about that?
It'll happen in court, I'm sure.
Okay, let's do it. Not really very smart people, are you? Oh my God, no wonder your reputation is horrible. Are you proud of that? Are you? Really? And your driving's horrible too.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really don't think, yeah. Oh my God. I want the video. How do I get it?
Well, yeah.
No,
Your
I can
attorney
do,
can do
I can
that,
do
yep.
an FMLA.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, you guys are jerks. You can't help me. And I'm arrested. That's amazing.
49 County. Copy, County. 84716 out of the office.
Unless I'm really thirsty, I'd like some water. How
Yes,
do we
ma'am.
do that?
We can get you some in a minute, okay?
Yeah. Made a big mistake again.
All right.
Made a really bad mistake, honey. I'm not drunk.
Okay.
I needed your help.
That's fine. That's fine.
And you're smelling.
Can you swing your legs out and step out of the vehicle?
Can I get some water?
You will be able to get some water shortly.
Okay. This really hurts. I told you I have a rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Yeah. This hurts.
Okay, if you could go ahead and
Okay,
step
we'll make
onto
sure you
that
don't fall,
step
dear.
right there.
Okay.
There's a step right there
Yeah,
if
could
you
you
like.
put your leg back?
No, I can get out.
Okay.
Okay.
But I have rheumatoid arthritis, and
Yeah, you told me.
Okay.
things
Well, just-
are very painful.
As
I
soon as
understand.
we go in that door, though, I'm going to take them handcuffs off you, but I
Yeah.
just need you to.
Okay.
Scoot
just-
on out.
I'm just asking you. Give me a second.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah, no
I can
problem.
do
You can take
this.
as long as
Take
you
your
like.
time. I'm just standing here, make sure you don't fall and hit your
I'm not
head.
gonna fall.
Well, I'm gonna make sure of that.
I'm not drunk,
Okay.
and you're
Okay.
looking at me weirdly.
I look at everyone weirdly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. It's not acceptable.
Go weird.
Okay, I apologize.
Judgment from you is
Oh, I'm
not.
not judging you, dear.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Okay, come on. You got it?
Just
Almost
give
there.
No, look. Just give me a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there is some pain
Mm-hmm.
in my movement.
I understand.
Okay.
You good? Okay, got one down. Try the other one. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
Excellent.
that was easy.
All right.
Awesome.
You're funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You can just follow him.
Right this way, man. Can walk
And
out
who
this
are
way?
you, sir?
My name's Deputy Geisman.
And what is your role in this?
I am assisting my shift partner.
And he's told you what?
That I'm to assist him getting you to the office. So I'm here. Let's get into the
Okay.
office.
Would you follow him, please?
No, actually, I want to call my lawyer right
Yes,
now.
you'll be able
You'll
to.
be
You
able
have plenty
to
of
when you get
opportunity
inside.
to. Yep.
But we don't want to stand outside in the rain.
You know, I don't really care.
Well,
All right,
we do.
come on.
Yeah,
Let's
really? Because it
Yes,
really
ma'am.
bothers you as a public servant to
No, I
stand
just
on the
know.
rain?
I just know to get out of the rain. All right, come on,
no,
dear.
no, sir.
Let's move this way,
Come
please.
on.
Oh,
There you go.
wow. You guys are something special, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Stop singing.
Like, really? Like, you could have helped me on the side of the road and you
I
decided
would.
to arrest me. That's really awesome.
Well, that's kind of helping.
Really?
Yep, just right over this way.
All right.
Wow.
I'm
What
just-
jerks are you?
You got it first.
I'll go first.
I bet you have some special wives. Are you married?
Yes.
Oh, I bet she's a good girl. Go with that shit.
I've had some issues here.
This is amazing.
It's not
You know, I think it's probably a retaliation because I've told the truth about the gun laws in Maryland. Do you know about what's going on there?
no, what? Why don't you tell me?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay, seriously? Do you really want to know?
I seriously want to know.
Okay, here, I can fill you in.
All right.
Do you really want to know? I mean, I'm asking you.
And I'm saying, fill me
Okay.
in.
So,
All right. Right this way.
Right this way, dear.
no.
I'm listening. We can walk and talk.
So, the Maryland General Assembly,
Yeah?
your Republican people are supposed to be protecting your gun laws. So, there's 2 gun laws.
Julie, I'm going to take these
And
handcuffs
so
off of
whatever
you.
you need to do.
My
Take them off.
Republican people. What makes you think I'm a Republican?
Are you a Democrat?
Oh, yeah. I voted for Obama twice.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Great
Okay.
guy.
So, do you think you have the right to have your own gun?
No. Only the military should have guns. I don't even think cops should.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Does that surprise you?
Wow. Well, you're a communist then, aren't you?
Well, you know, they got some good ideas.
I mean, are you having a serious conversation with
Sure.
me? Or
Yes, I am.
Julie, would you come over here for a second?
Do whatever you like, but I'm really interested.
Okay. Well, he's got some stuff to do. We
No,
can talk.
I
We
mean,
can talk when we're done here.
Are you a communist?
Oh, I don't go by names. Okay.
Hey,
I thought you said you wanted to have a conversation about
Well, we have work to do, man.
it. No, you just told me you did.
Well, I gotta go help out here.
Okay, so you guys are a bunch of liars. Okay.
hey, I'm going to check your eyes real quick. Would you just face me and look at the tip of the pen? Can you see the tip of the pen?
I want my lawyer before.
That's okay. You
I'm
don't want to
doing
submit
this.
to that test?
No.
Okay. Do you want to submit to a 9-step walk and turn test?
Excuse me?
A 9-step walk and turn test.
What?
It's a
I'm
standardized field sobriety test.
No, I asked you to help me on the side of the road.
Okay.
And I'm not submitting to anything
Okay.
that you are not helping with me as a public servant.
Okay. Hang
Okay,
on one
so
second,
you
okay?
have just kind of fucked up.
Okay, I understand. So you don't want to submit to any tests at all?
Why should I? Explain to me my rights right now.
What rights are you looking for?
What rights do I have,
Yep, I'm gonna
officer?
read you a sheet of paper. That's your advice or rights form.
Can I have some
Hey,
water?
Dan.
I'm asking for
You grabbing
some-
that DR-15 form?
Yes, sir.
What rights do I have,
I'm gonna
sir?
read you the rights right now.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Can I have some water?
In a minute you can, okay?
Okay.
After I read you this form.
Okay. I think you kind of fucked up.
I don't think I did.
No, I think you did.
Well, I can see that your eyes are really
Oh,
red and
really?
glassy. I
Oh,
can see that
really?
your lips are stained purple.
Yeah,
probably from wine?
My lips are stained purple because I had grape juice.
Okay, that's fine. It's just not consistent with how you're acting right now.
Okay,
That's all.
really?
Yes, ma'am.
One would think you would help a woman on the side of the road. And stop being a dick.
Any luck,
How
Dan?
was that?
All right.
But your wife is proud of you.
She's very proud.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
Yeah, I just need one. Thanks, bud.
All right, I'll stand here. You got extra in case something.
Yeah, no problem. Right in here, please.
I want some water.
I can't give you any water until I read this form.
I'm sorry that if you cannot give me the rights of water,
Ma'am, if you could come right in here, I'm
I
gonna.
need the basic rights of water.
Yeah, I just need you to read this form first.
I'm not reading anything to
I'm
you.
gonna read it.
Some
I'm gonna
water.
read it to you.
Nope.
I'm gonna read you this form.
I need the basic right of water.
I can't give you any water until after I'm done reading this form.
You are not giving me
Okay.
basic
You have been
rights.
stopped or detained, and reasonable grounds exist to believe that you've been driving or attempted to drive a motor vehicle under circumstances requiring that you be asked to submit to a test under 16-205.1
I want some water.
of the Maryland Vehicle
I
Law.
want some water.
In this situation, the law deems that you have consented to take a test to measure the
want
blood
some
alcohol
water.
level or drug or
Right
controlled
now, I
dangerous
want some
substance
water.
content in your system. You may refuse to submit to the test unless you're in a motor vehicle accident resulting in the death of life-threatening injury to another person.
I would like some water.
Suspension of your Maryland driver's license or driving privilege.
I've
if you
never
sub-
had a violation on my license. I would
If
like
you
some
refuse
water.
to submit to the test or submit to a test
I
that
want
results
some
in an alcohol
water
concentration
and
of
a lawyer.
0.08 or more at the time of testing, your Maryland driver's license will be confiscated, an
No.
order of suspension
No.
issued, and if eligible,
No.
a temporary license is issued and valid
Who
for
gets
45
to do any
days.
of this? I want
The
some
following
water
periods
and my
of
lawyer.
suspension will be imposed against
Mhm.
your license or privilege
I'm
to
not
drive in
drunk.
Maryland. If your test results in an
I'm not
alcohol
drunk.
concentration of 0.08,
You're
but less than a
over-
0.15,
You're overextending.
the suspension will be 45
Guess
days
who-
for the first offense
Guess who
and
I
90
know?
days
Guess who I know in the
for a
Maryland
second or
legislature?
subsequent offense. If the offense involves a motor vehicle accident that resulted in
I
the
bet
death
what
of another
Mike
person,
Lewis is gonna think about that.
your suspension will be
Would you like
6
me to
months
call him right now?
for the first
Can I have my
offense
phone?
and
I'll
1
call
year
Mike.
for the second or subsequent
Really?
offense. If your test results in an alcohol
Really?
concentration of 0.15 or more,
Okay.
the suspension will be 90 days for a first offense and 180 days for a
You
second
lock me
offense.
up.
If the offense involves a motor
Lock me
vehicle
up.
accident that resulted in the death of another person, your suspension will be 1 year for the first offense, and for a second or
I
subsequent
put in
offense,
the dish
your license will be
to
revoked.
text someone.
If you refuse to submit to a test, the test will be
Okay.
120 days for the first offense and 1 year for a second or subsequent offense.
Okay.
An additional criminal penalty
You're
of
a
not
lot
more than
of trouble.
$500 or imprisonment
You
for
better be
more than
really
2 months
careful.
or both may be
Do you know
imposed
who I am?
under
Do
27101X
you
of the
understand?
Maryland Vehicle Law if you're
Okay.
convicted of a drunk or drug driving offense
I'm not drunk.
under 21902 and the judge
I
or
am
jury
not drunk.
finds beyond a reasonable doubt
Okay.
that you knowingly refuse to take the test
Oh.
arising out of the same circumstances.
You're in a lot of trouble.
If you hold a CDL and were driving a non-commercial motor vehicle when you were stopped and refused to submit to a test, your CDL privilege will be disqualified for 1 year for the first offense, and if your motor vehicle were stopped, excuse me, or privilege has been previously disqualified for a year under 16812A or B, your CDL will be disqualified for 1 year for first offense, or for life if your CDL or privilege has been previously disqualified for at least 1 year under 16-812A or B of the Maryland Transportation Article, a federal law, or any other state law. If you are driving a commercial motor vehicle and refuse the test, your CDL or privilege will be disqualified as set forth below. Modification of the suspension or issuance of a restricted license. Would you like to sit down while I finish it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted some water.
That's fine. If your test results in an alcohol concentration of 0.08 but less than a 0.15, the suspension may be modified or a restricted license issued at a hearing in certain circumstances. If you refuse to do the test or take a test with a result of a 0.15 or more, you'll be ineligible for a modification of the suspension or issuance of a restricted license unless you participate in the ignition interlock system program under 16404.1 of the Maryland Vehicle Law. This program requires the vehicle you drive to be equipped with a device that prevents you from operating if you have alcohol in your blood. At a hearing, if you request one, an administrative judge may modify a suspension by permitting you to participate in the ignition interlock system for 1 year, but is not required to do so. Instead of requesting a hearing, you may elect to participate in the ignition interlock system program for a year. Instead of the period of suspension,
Gentleman legs.
yes
sir.
ma'am, if the following conditions are met.
What do we need to do?
Number, do you want to submit to the field sobriety test
No,
now?
actually, Mr. Parker.
The field sobriety test consists of 3 tests. One of them is a horizontal gaze nystagmus test where I check your eyes. The other one is a 9-step walk and turn test that I'll explain to you. And the third one is a one-legged stand test. Would you like to now submit to the test?
I mean, I think I can do this right now.
Okay.
And,
Right.
but I'm not going to without a lawyer.
Okay,
That's what I'm going to
that's
tell
fine.
you.
That's fine. So you're refusing to submit
No,
to the test?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm saying that this is, you know, if you
Instead of requesting a hearing, you may elect to participate in the ignition interlock system
oh
for a
my
year.
goodness.
Instead of the period of suspension, if the following conditions are met.
You think I'm drunk?
Number 1, your driver's license is not currently suspended, revoked, canceled, or refused. You were not charged with a moving violation arising out of the same circumstances as the order of suspension that involved the death or physical injury to another person. And 3, within 30 days of the date of the order of suspension, you A, elect in writing to participate in the ignition interlock system program for 1 year instead of a hearing, and B, surrender a valid Maryland driver's license or sign a statement certifying that the license is no longer in your possession. An ignition interlock election form is located on the reverse side of the driver's copy of the order of suspension.
Okay.
Offenses occurring while driving a commercial motor vehicle. That doesn't apply because you weren't driving a commercial motor vehicle. You have the right to request an administrative hearing. You may request an administrative hearing at any time within 30 days of the date of the order of suspension to show cause why your driver's license
for a lawyer before
Yes,
you
ma'am.
submit me to anything.
or privilege should not be suspended.
But
You must request a
you know
hearing
this is all
within
bullshit
10 days
yourself.
of the order of suspension to ensure that your privilege to drive is not suspended
Sir.
prior to your hearing. Hold on,
Sir.
I'm almost done. Your request for a hearing may be made in writing. You may use the hearing request form if available. Send your request
Sir.
to the Office of the Administrative Hearing, 11101 Gilroy Road in Hunt Valley, Maryland. You must include a check or money order for $150, which
Yeah.
is a required filing
Yeah,
fee
what a racket.
made payable to the Maryland State Treasurer. Your request for a hearing will be invalid if
No,
submitted without the
we're not
required
doing any of
$150 filing fee.
Sir, we're not doing
Hold on one
any of
second.
that.
Your driver's license or privilege will be suspended on the 46th day of the order of suspension if you do not request a
What's happening?
hearing within 10 days
Alright.
of the date of the order of suspension, or if eligible, you do not elect
What's
within
that?
30 days the order of suspension to participate in the ignition
Disgusting
interlock system
thing.
program for 1 year instead of requesting a hearing. If you submit a valid hearing request,
You put
a
my...
suspension will be imposed unless a decision is rendered against you or if you fail to appear for a hearing. Okay.
Sir, you took
Now-
my vehicle instead of helping me. You have arrested me. I have never seen anything like this.
Okay.
You're sitting here telling me
We're almost here.
You
It says,
think I'm drunk?
certification. I, the undersigned police officer, certify that I have advised the driver of the above rights and
This is the most
sanctions.
disgusting
That's me.
thing I've ever
I'm
seen.
going to sign that because
Okay.
I just read that to you.
Hmm.
Okay, now it says,
You should be embarrassed.
read before signing. I, the undersigned driver, which is you, acknowledge that I have been read or have read the above stated advice of rights as
I'm not
certified by the
signing
police officer.
anything.
I understand that this request test
This is
is
embarrassing.
in addition to any preliminary
This
tests
is
that were taken.
embarrassing to police officers.
Having been so advised of these
I
rights,
am, not.
do you want to submit to the test?
Why would I? I asked you.
It's just yes or no, that's all.
Why would I do that?
I don't know why or why not. I just have to know
You
if
should
you
have
don't.
helped me out of the ditch
Is it
as a public servant.
Is it yes, you want to
This is
submit to the alcohol
embarrassing.
test, or no, you do not want to?
Sir, you're an embarrassment.
I understand that, but
You understand you're an
I just want you to answer
embarrassment?
my question, though. Do you wish to submit
Why
to the
would
alcohol
I-
test?
Why? Why would... You know what's going to
Okay.
happen to you?
I'm going to put no, that you refuse the test.
I'm not refusing anything.
Okay, so you're going to take the test.
I'm not taking anything either.
So that's no.
I'm asking
Okay.
for a lawyer before I do anything because
Who do you want to use?
I
who's
don't
your
know.
lawyer?
I think I have an option.
Oh, let me see. It is 9:25.
Yeah, that's great. Michael Schmiegel, call him.
Go ahead. There you go. There's the phone. Dial
Who
99
he is?
twice. I don't know who he is.
Okay.
I don't
You
know.
know his number?
No, I don't know his number because I think
Okay.
if I would have a problem on the side of the road, I don't necessarily have a lawyer I'm going to call. And I think I'm speaking pretty clearly
Mhm.
right now. I think you're violating my rights, sir.
Okay, I'm going to put on here that you refuse to sign.
I'm not refusing anything.
There you go. You want to
No,
sign then?
I'm going to wait till I have a lawyer.
Okay.
How about that? I'm not refusing anything.
Would you step into cell 2 for me?
Right here, Jerry.
Oh, that's great. On what grounds?
Actually, step-
Explain to me
just
why.
Step into cell
Because
2.
you're arrested for...
I have paperwork to do. You're under arrest
For what? What am
I'm
I
gonna
under
go do
arrest for?
for driving under the influence of alcohol.
I have not been driving under the influence